friends, and today I'm going to be reviewing the M46 Patton, one of the two American Tier 9 medium tanks, and yeah, let's get into it. First off, the M46 Patton is the original Tier 9 medium tank, and it's the only line that leads to a Tier 10 medium tank in the US tech tree. The other one, T5481, leads to T57 Heavy, and it's an autoloader, so it's very different. And I'm also going to be comparing it to a Type 61 because I feel like they're pretty similar. Alright, so first off, DPM. The M46 Patton has one of the highest DPMs of a Tier 9 medium tank. 3035 is really good. However, it suffers with penetration. 335 compared to 2780 of the T54E1. That used to be higher, I think, possibly. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I can't remember. But 4.2 they changed to 54E1 by increasing its penetration by quite a bit, which is why it's got better pen than the M46, and decreasing its alpha by 40. The Type 61 has amazing penetration, 245. That's pretty much average for a Tier 10 medium tank, but it lacks a bit in DPM at only 2700. And it's got the same alpha as the M46 because they both have 105s. Rate of fire, 8.67 rounds per minute. The T54E1 actually fires more rounds per minute now, 8.97. But because it has 40 less alpha, it has like 255 less DPM, which is a decent amount. And then reload, that means this thing's best reload is 6.92 seconds. And this thing's clipper load is 15.07 seconds. Let's see. Let's take that off and that off. They are actually really similar if you aren't using a rammer on this, and go with pen boost. Then you're really similar DPMs and penetration. But I don't care. Hit that 2 key, right? 54E1 has 3 rounds in its clip, like most high-tier autoloaders. They're all 105s, but this is a special 105 in that it does 310 alpha instead of 350. And shell velocity, the Type 62 has APCR standard, so it really has nice shell velocity. Not that 1,000 meters per second is bad or anything, but aim time. The T54E1 has an astounding aim time now. I think that may have got buffed. 1.15 seconds aim time, and means you can snap shots pretty easily. The Patton has 2.08 seconds, and the Type 61 has 1.72. And accuracy, the M46 Patton is not among the higher accuracies for a medium tank at this tier. Both of the other vehicles in this comparison, wow, have better accuracy, and then you've got both the Germans, which have better accuracy, and what does that leave? The T54, which I think depends on the gun. On movement and rotation, however, the M46 Patton can fire really well at 0.1 dispersion. That's half of the 54E1s, so snapshots of the 54E1s when you're moving aren't great, and Type 61's just slightly worse. Depression, 10 degrees is fantastic. That is joint best in class. 54E1 only has 8, and its elevation is limited to 13 because of oscillating turrets. The M46 has 22 degrees of elevation, which is amazing and better than the Type 61, which has the same depression. Yeah. Aiming arc doesn't matter because they're turreted. Top speed, the M48 Patton actually has the joint best top speed in this comparison. I keep saying it weirdly. But 48 kilometers an hour is a bit slow for medium, but I mean it's not super slow. 20 in reverse, that's standard. Engine horsepower, you've got 902 horsepower, which means that you have a really good power to weight ratio. Compare that to the 291 of the modified M46 Patton, the T54E1, and that's with vents. Is it with vents? Yep. That doesn't affect horsepower, what am I thinking? In 664, the Japanese, which is kind of lacking or lackluster. Which means the power weight ratio of the M46 Patton is 21.11. That's amazing. This thing will start moving, and it's like a 4.202, except for a tiny bit slower. 16.5 on the T54E1, because though it is a M46 Patton hull or M48 or whatever it is, that turret is quite a bit heavier than the original. Type 261 has 19.22, which isn't horrible. Type 61 is not a heavy tank. And effective horsepower per tons, the Type 62 ties on hard is better on medium and worse on soft. So yeah, they're that big of difference in power weight ratio. Terrain resistances, yeah, it doesn't have anything astounding about it. No mod traverse rate, that I still don't understand what that is. Credit coefficient doesn't really matter, but Type 61 has better. View range, that does kind of matter. 280, that's decent, that is decent. 269 on the 54E1 is kind of mediocre, and 285 on the 61 because it's kind of massive cupola. Health, 1650 is, yeah, that's the high end of tier 9 mediums. Except for the E50, which is 1700. Weight, this thing weighs 42, almost 43 tons. That's impressive. But then, you know, this monster mutant just weighs 11 tons more. And that Type 61's a lightweight of 34.55 tons. Hull armor, 102 at the front, 76 on the side, and 51 at the rear. 76 on the side is the thickest part. This is just the thickest part of the armor, so it does vary. You can bounce shells, and your tracks will absorb shells. But yeah, and then 102 on the front isn't anything to write home about. It can bounce if you're super angled, but you know, Leo PTAs can bounce things too. 110 on the front of the E54E1, but that is not as good as this 102. And then 35 on the rear, which means even more HE will pen you, and 76 on the side. I don't understand why this has better frontal armor and worse rear armor if they're pretty much similar hulls, if I remember correctly. Type 61 will rarely ever bounce a shell with its, lack of armor. 102 in the front of the turret, 76 on the side, and 91 on the rear. So you're more likely to bounce shots off your rear than your front, than your sides. Can you believe that? 127 on the front of the 54E1 because it did get changed, I think. I may be wrong. And then you've got all kinds of crazy slopes with the oscillating turret, but it has flat parts. The M46's front doesn't really have that many flat parts, and then the Type 61 can bounce shells if you hit the mantlet, which unfortunately this thing really doesn't have, and this thing really doesn't have. And then the M46 Patton is not, wow. 4.2 kind of made people buy this tank. Yeah. Anyways, that's that. Let's move on to whatever's next. Okay, let's get some battles in. In case you're wondering about the armor, this is the mantlet, this little triangular wedge, and it can and will bounce shots. If you're using compression, you'll bounce shots off here. If you're straight on, and if they are stupid and hit here, you'll bounce. But you do have a cupola, which isn't massive like Type 61's, but is fairly decently sized. And if they see your hole, you're pretty much dead. Yep. And yeah, I'm doing this review because I wanted to break up my French tanks. I've done so many videos on French tanks recently because that's all that's been introduced in the game. It's ridiculous. But where are we? We are here. M46 Patton, bottom tier, on Mirage. Hooray. However, both our tier 10s aren't super well armored, so I don't have to worry about penning. TRN. Are you trying to abbreviate train? Ugh. Stupid. But the newest French tank line has raised some controversy around it because the Tier 9 and 10 in it, though they are classified as light tanks, and I mean they probably should be classified as light tanks, they do not have light tank camo ratings. So that is, light tanks retain the same camo rating when they're on the move as when they're stationary, and when they're firing as when they're stationary, I think. But the Batchat 25T AP and Batchat 25T do not retain their camo ratings, which really infuriated a lot of people because they don't have the health or DPM to brawl Tier 9 and 10 medium tanks, but they don't have the camo rating to stay hidden. And the T50, the Batchat 25T and the Batchat 25T AP aren't particularly well armored. In fact, they have like 30 millimeters of armor, and they can get HE'd by pretty much everything at their tiers. And getting HE'd really costs you health really fast, so effectively they could basically have 1,000 health apiece for all anybody cares, because just hit that 2 key or 3 key and spam HE, and you'll do quite decent amounts of damage. Speaking of HE, that's a 183. You know how I said that we wouldn't really be bouncing off of a lot of their tier 10s? Huh. How wrong I was. And yeah, I hit the lower plate, which is actually like stronger than the upper plate on that particular tank. Fire, fire! Seriously? I had that guy on my side preventing me from backing up. That guy rammed him, turning his gun towards me. And I died because of it. Let's see if we lose. It wouldn't surprise me. And anyways. Where was I? Oh yes. Why have a light tank that can't perform a light tank's duties? I mean, it's got the same view range as a Leo 1, the Batchat 25T does. It's got slightly better camo rating, not that much. It has 700 less DPM. It has even less armor, so you're able to get HE'd by everything from the front, unlike the Leo. And I mean, there's nothing special going for them besides being autoloaders at tier 10 and pretty fast. Got the same speed as a Leo 1. It doesn't have better camera rating, that much better. I mean, and it definitely isn't really that good at scouting things. Because, I mean, yeah. It's pathetic, but it is what it is. Ugh, this game could have been so much better for me, but I got killed because my teammates. Yep. Okay. Let's try to get an actual decent game and, you know, not 1,500 damage. I think, yeah, my average in this tank actually needs to go up. 72% win rate, and yeah, average damage is a bit low. Yeah. Anyways, we still haven't got our rewards from being #1 clan in the Twister Tournament Cup final thing. No, Twister season? First season? I don't know what it was. Tournament season. Whatever. First place, tier 8, and we don't get anything. We get a special medal and a special badge or whatever, and then we get, depending on how many cups we get, I, for example, am going to get like 5.8 million credits and 1,500 spare parts, which is, I just don't get why we can't get rewarded. We played 2 to 3 tournaments a week for 3 months. That is a massive commitment, and it's a massive time sink, and we aren't getting rewarded for it. I mean, we are, but really mediocrely. I could earn 5.8 million credits in about a day or two, and spare parts, I could earn that much just by completing, say, 2 sets of missions. It's not really good rewards. I mean, seriously, even the tier 10, they are going to get 1,000 credits per each cup they have, and I think 3 spare parts for each cup they have. So if they say a certain player has 8,000 cups or 9,000, they're gonna get 9 million credits. Maybe 9 million credits and something like 27,000 spare parts. 27,000 spare parts is barely enough to get a tier 2 equipment slot on a lot of tanks. I mean, at least increase the spare part compensation or rewards so you can actually fully equip a tank at the tier that you play. Like, for example, fully equip a tier 8, it would be like 120,000, I don't know, spare parts, something like that. And I mean, spare parts are going to cost them money because they're just going to give people spare parts, and people won't complain because they earned those spare parts. Unlike a certain someone who happens to be playing an M46 Patton right now, who got 2 million spare parts just for paying 20 bucks for a ticket and attending an event for 6 hours. And I got 2 million spare parts. That is just so ridiculous, and I don't understand why we aren't actually getting rewarded for working. Let's say we do 3 tournaments a week for 3 months. Okay, that's 12 weeks. That's 36 tournaments and an hour and a half piece. An hour and a half per tournament would be math. I'm like not doing math well. 36 times 90. Can he clip me? No, not anymore. Especially since he's got that 90mm. Beautiful. And just push on him since... Kill him. Thank you. APCR, pen, and that's a T49 using the 90mm. T49 is a useless tank now. But where was I? 90 times 36. Excuse me, I almost sneezed there. Which, you know, not professional. 9 times 36 is, doing math, is 300 and... I don't know. It's something like, let's just go back to hours, and 36 times 1.5. I'm struggling to do math right now, and I don't understand why. That was a pretty decent game, but let's do this math. Okay, 36 times 1.5 is exactly 52. 54. Yeah, 54. 54 hours. 54 hours of tournaments, and we are getting nothing. And I believe there were 3 tournaments which our clan didn't play in because of scheduling errors, so you're going to reduce that by 4.5 hours, and we didn't win every single one, so you're going to reduce that. We pretty much came in second a lot of the time. Not to mention the gold series are 2 hours, so there's a lot of different factors, and let's just say that's around 50 hours, okay? 50 hours of play In 50 hours of playing nothing but tier 8 premiums, I would probably earn myself 400,000 spare parts, conservatively. And something like, I'm gonna say, let's see, let's just average it out at 500, half a million an hour. I'm gonna earn 25 million credits just playing tier 8s. And that's just, you know, average it out. 54 hours, yeah. 400,000 spare parts is a bit excessive. But yeah. Let's just say I would earn 200 spare parts. 200,000 spare parts. And 25 million credits for the same amount of work. I mean, sure, we get recognition, but what does that benefit us, besides getting better people in the clan, which really hasn't happened? We just dinged them? Are you serious? So yeah, that's, yeah. Batchat 25T light tank. It sucks, and tournament rewards are horrible. Why can't we just go back to, you know, remember the New Start tournaments where we actually got gold pretty much every single tournament, and, you know, 150 gold a piece isn't bad. So he snapped that shot in, and I couldn't pen his lower plate. Kind of pathetic, but what am I supposed to do about it? Play the wargaming, get this thing pen buff? Get this thing a pen buff. FPS dropped to 46. Okay. Do I know a reason why it dropped to 46? No. I missed the side of his tank, hit the front of his tank. However, my second shot didn't. So far I've had a really meh game. But I mean, I'm trying to demonstrate the amazing epicness of this tank, and I'm getting matched against tier 10. I mean, last battle I was the only tier 9, and I didn't do well, but I mean, 2100 isn't horrible. And look at that, a 7-0, and it's like 1,000 damage. Ugh. Yeah. Wow, horrible game. Okay. So, what's the next topic to talk about? My uploads have been kind of bizarre recently. My work's been scheduling me for late shifts, and that's usually when I record. Say, I record 6 to 9, 6 to 10. Those are my recording hours usually, and I've been scheduled to work. In fact, I was scheduled to work that. The update night was tournament night. We did tournament. The next night I worked. The next night I worked. The next night I worked. The next night I was playing with friends, and then the next night would be Sunday, and I did record. So yeah, blame my work for me not being able to upload videos about 4.2 earlier. Because usually I do record the same day an update drops, but that was tournament night, and then after tournament ended, I don't want to be over here. After tournament ended, I was hanging out with some of my clanmates and playing battles with them, and then yeah, we weren't at all seal clubbing at tier 4 with all the AMX40s running around. We totally weren't. Yep. So 4 of them are on the hill, 3 are on this side, and my team doesn't want to push. And we have an AFK, and we already down a tank. So it's now A5 versus 7. And I don't believe that they have taken hardly any damage. Oh, that guys have lost 700 health. 900 health. DD is dead. And that's not, I'm not talking about the clan, I'm talking about their player in this battle. who is, yeah. And our heavy tanks won't push. Come on. Where's the stupid heavy tanks all of this team? And he high rolled. Oh look. A stock tier 9 heavy tank. You know. What is he doing? What has he been doing? So it started off as a 6 versus 7 because we had an AFK, and then the remainder of our heavy tanks decided to sit back and do nothing. Wow. That was... that game lasted, what, 3 minutes? And it wasn't a 7-0 because I killed one guy, but still. Bottom tier again. Let's start playing. Yeah, they called right and they're going right, so let's go with them. I mean, that's not a bad call. More and more often on this map I see people going right. We used to always go straight to the, I guess it's the southeast corner of the map. And, you know, we just sit there and we use gun depression tanks and we just shoot. But the meta's changed so that this side of the map is more and more of a viable option. Just, you know. Okay, so, 1 shot of damage so far. I think somebody shot at me there. I'm pretty sure the 62 did. But, you know, apparently I moved. E50M is going to get wrecked. He's gonna have tanks shooting him in the rear. We've already got a kill, but we are going to lose our grille. Playing the grille after 4.2 is stupid because of how much they changed it. They just nerfed everything. And yeah. There's the other Type 62, or T62A, Type 62, T62A, yeah, they're all the same, right? I mean, one's a tier 7 and one's a tier 10. There's the Leopard. That is, that's called German accuracy. And that's called still being spotted. Yeah, 62A, you're pretty dead. Okay. Somebody shoot this Leo. No? Okay. Fine, I'm gonna go and push in on the 62A. 62A, I think, got a armor buff. Now we gotta go and hunt down a T57 who has not been spotted this game yet. Yeah. And I'm a one-shot. In fact, yeah. Okay. How did you hit that, Leo? RNG. Don't question it. Okay, where's the 57 going to be? That's the true question. Alright, if they aren't going to come out and support me, they should just go cap. Also, I think the video's been running, oh yeah, 21 minutes for this section. Okay, 30-minute video. My FPS, I don't know. Felt choppy. We have a thanks. He is not AFK. Seriously, you guys just circled around the entire map and finally came over. Also, thanks to the guy who reported that I was over there, because that's so helpful for me. And this is creator 7777 whatever, and his clan tag tells it all. He is notorious for just being an absolute idiot. I mean, yeah. He wasn't AFK. Okay, now what are you gonna do? You're gonna just expose your lower plate because you're an IS-7 and you're a genius. My team was so stupid. Especially this stupid IS-7 who's now been flanked and is gonna die. Okay, now he's not going to die yet. This IS-7 was on like 1700, 1800 health, right? What? Or, yeah, blame your team. Okay, he's bounced once, he's not gonna bounce again. Our team's not bad, you're bad. Death Star should have just pushed on him. Yeah, our team's bad. Does 879 damage. This guy, I don't foot fetish. Yeah, that explains it all. And this creator, 7777, I mean, he's not a horrible player, he's just a horrible person. He's a troll. But, anyways, with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this review and gameplay of the M46 Patton, the American Tier 9 medium tank, and if you did and would like to show that you did, please don't forget to hit the like button down below, subscribe if you're new, and comment what tanks you want me to review. I've been told the Conqueror, the Gun Carrier, the Type 59, and CDC, the last two by the same person who I know who he is, and once again, if you want me to review those tanks, I need you to buy them for me. Okay? And yeah, with all that being said and done, and raged and ranted, I'll have to say, see y'all, have fun, stay safe, bye, and I got other videos to record.